Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Tony Grillo, and this picture is of me standing by my semi-truck, probably fueling it, and I thought I'd be funny and take a picture. It is early, Tuesday morning, and it is Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. And it is 10 minutes to 8 o'clock. I'm getting ready to head to Franklin, Indiana with a load of Wisconsin-made pizzas. And I thought, I would share something on listening. It was kind of funny because I heard this message last weekend at my church, The Ridge in Greenville, Wisconsin. And when me and the new gal, Kristen, we were heading out of church, I told her later, I think it was maybe a day or two later, I was thinking about the sermon, and I actually watched it again on the YouTube channel, and I texted her. I said, that was a really good sermon, but one thing I noticed, the thing I got out of it is that, especially when they were talking about, getting to know your neighbors and trying to build better communities and evangelize and all that stuff, I realized I didn't know my neighbors' names. I've been living in this new town, Cudahy, Wisconsin, for I'm going on over a year and a half now, and I don't know their names. And I told the new gal, I said, I think I'm a really bad listener. And she said something to me like, yeah, she goes, I noticed I had to repeat myself a few times when I'm with you. And so I realized, that might be what's affecting all my relationships, because I've, over like a period of 10, 11 years since I've been divorced, I've been in, this is probably my fifth, I would call, serious relationship. And I've always thought, you should be a good provider and everything, but no, you need to be a really good listener. That's probably number one, and that may be what's affecting all my relationships. And so it's something I need to work on. But I wrote this in here. I like having you around. I met Kristen at this time, and I put this on as my cover pick. I like having you around because my weirdness doesn't look so weird when you're doing it too. I do like to go out and do a lot of fun things, and it is more fun doing it with someone else, having company. So I wrote this post about 10 hours ago when I got done driving my semi-truck, and let's just jump right into it. It's all about listening. 2 weekends ago, my church is teaching me to be a better listener. I learned in the Bible that Jesus asked 307 questions and only answered 3. Jesus listened by asking good questions and caring about their answers. Case in point, Jesus was walking in Jericho. A big crowd followed. Amazing how one can be at a party with hundreds of people, all with music blasting, and yet, out of all that noise, a parent could still hear their child's voice. And that's what happened to Jesus. From out of a noisy crowd, he heard a voice pleading for him and asked for the man to be brought to him. Now, everyone knew the man was blind, including Jesus, but he didn't dare to presume anything when he asked the man what he wanted. I want to see, the man replied. And Jesus restored his vision, saying, your faith has healed you. Now, Jesus' evangelism came from being a good friend to all your neighbors. So I have to ask myself, do I love my neighbor as much as Jesus does? Jesus paid the ultimate price. He gave his life for everyone, for all his neighbors. So over the weekend, for the first time ever, I talked to the new neighbor lady that moved across the street from me and found out that she is a former group leader at my church. I didn't even know she was a member of my church, but hasn't been there in a while because of all her house searching and moving. Her name is Stephanie, and she's actually born and raised in Milwaukee, and she'd moved out. She was out in California, and then she decided to come back and come back home. And she's been helping me move my garbage containers from the curb while I'm over the road, and it's really fun knowing her. I ask her questions I learned from church, and I'm beginning to feel a friendship with her. So my church uses the acronym BLESS, B-L-E-S-S. B is begin with prayer, praying for your neighbors. So we're supposed to pray for all our neighbors. In fact, they want us to, take a walk around the neighborhood and pray for every neighbor that, you ask God to bless them. And then L is listen to your neighbor. Did you know a word, mondegreen? Now, I did not know this. This was in church that this was brought up. Mondegreen has been invented that describes a misunderstood or misinterpreted word or phrase resulting from the mishearing of the lyrics of a song. I mess up song lyrics all the time. Drove my Zuma instructor X crazy, LOL. Yeah, I do that a lot. I did not know a lot of the words to a lot of songs, and I tend to make up my own words many times. So here are a few quick tips to become a better listener. I know the new gal has admitted that she has found herself repeating things to me. So I'm working hard to remedy this as well, so she knows how much I really care about her. And I'm still trying to stop talking while our favorite news show or movie is on. The opposite of listening is not speaking. It is not waiting to speak when they finish. I know how many of us feel that way, right? We're just waiting and waiting for that person to stop talking so we can start talking. But that's not what it is. That's not what listening is. Listening just is you don't speak. You just listen. That's it. We can hear 450 words per minute, but can only retain 25%. So we can hear about, a little over 100 words a minute is what we actually listen to, that we can comprehend. That's the difference between hearing and listening. The retention is the listening. Listening better improves relationships. Let go of any judgment. So number one, this is the number one tip right here. Okay, there's 3 of them here. Okay, so it's very quick, very easy. I'm working on this. I'm trying to memorize them all. So here we go. Number 1 is you let go of any judgments and assumptions. King Solomon wrote in Psalms, "It is stupid and embarrassing to give an answer before you listened." When you do that, the conversation is now all about you instead of being about them. So yeah, get rid of all your judgments and assumptions. Don't judge and don't assume anything. Okay? Just listen, Number 2, put away all distractions. Clear your mind. Get rid of the phone. That's one thing I have to work on. I clutter my mind with, 5 or 6 different things I'm thinking about, when someone's trying to talk to me. And that especially I remember with the ex, I went on a camping trip once with her. It was a really fun trip. We went to Peninsula Island, way up in Door County. And we saw a Broadway show while we were up there. It was called Dad's Season Tickets. But on the ride up there, I was trying to make sure we had everything. I wanted to make sure we had the charcoal, the food, the ice, the drinks, that we had sleeping bags, that we had the tent, that I was just the lantern, everything, garbage bags. And I was trying to make sure that I didn't forget a dang thing. And when we stopped at the Walmart, we had bought, we also, on the way up there, we'd stopped at a few other places, like there's a bunch of wine places on the ride up there. and we had bought some bottles of wine while we were up there, and one of them had a lighthouse, and apparently she had a family member that worked at that lighthouse when he was with the Navy, and she was trying to tell me the story about it, and she wanted to go visit the lighthouse because we weren't too far away from it. And we were at the Walmart parking lot, and she got really mad at me because my mind wasn't totally listening to her. I was trying to make sure, I was going through all our camping stuff, making sure we didn't forget anything. And then she got really frustrated with me and angry. And I wound up forgetting charcoal lighter fluid. So that's something I had to work on. I needed to work on. I just needed to stop doing everything I was doing and just listen to what she was saying. That should have been the thing I should have done. So clear your mind, get rid of the phone, shut off the TV or radio, focus all your attention on the person talking. And then number 3, ask good questions. Now there's 4 parts to that, okay? The 4 H's, all right? If you could try to remember, for asking good questions. So first of all, number 1, you let go of your judgments and assumptions. Number 2, put away all distractions. And then number 3, that means get rid of the phone, clear your mind, shut off the TV, radio, and you focus. And then the third one is you ask good questions. So the 4 parts to asking good questions is first, history. You can ask them, hey, where did they grow up? Where are they from? And ask them, what is your story on how you got here, where you're at today? Number 2, heart. What's in their heart? What's their favorite restaurant? What's their favorite team? Their favorite vacation spots? Their favorite hobbies? Stuff like that. Stuff that, is stuff that they love. What is it that they love? What's in their heart? Number 3, habits. How do you have fun? What is your happy place? Do you like live bands? Do you like nature hiking? Do you take your dog to the doggy park? What are the habits? What habits do you do that make you, how do you have fun? And what are your habits? Number 4, this is later when you have a strong relationship with somebody. This is the hurts, okay? And when you have a strong relationship with someone, then you can ask what pains you and what are your struggles. This is how Jesus evangelized. He listened to the lady at the well. I always love that story of the lady at the well. He was with his apostles, and he told them, hey, you guys go on ahead. I'll meet up with you. Prepare for our dinner tonight. There's somebody there you're supposed to meet, and that's all been arranged. But I need to go to this well, and I just need to be by myself. And it's interesting he did that. He purposely did that, and he went to the well, and it was the hottest time of the day. Most people go to the well when it's morning, and that's when they like to go, and then everybody talks to each other, and they say hi, and that's what you do. Most neighbors did when they went to the well. But this lady, she excuse me, she went to the well. She didn't want to be around anybody else. She didn't want to talk to anybody. She probably was, criticized and judged for the way she lived. And so she went to the well during the hottest time of the day in the afternoon because she knew no one would be there. And when she shows up, well, there's Jesus sitting there at the well. And he actually asks her for a drink of water. And then he tells her that, his kind of water you will never thirst from. And that's exactly what she needed to hear, because she'd been living a life where she was very unhappy. And she was, she knew there was something better out there. But she and he was the answer that she was searching for her entire life. But so anyways, I could just imagine they were sitting there talking, and she must have just talked to him and told him her story, and he just listened. And so he listened to the lady at the well, and by listening, he showed love, and he did it without any judging, even though she had 5 husbands, because she was married 5 times, and she was living with a guy that wasn't her husband. And she followed him from that moment on, without him ever having to show her he could walk on water, turn water into wine at a wedding, or bring Lazarus back alive from the dead. She followed him because she was looking for truth. Maybe she's just looking for a guy that could listen to her. Maybe that's why she went through 5 guys, just like I went through 5 different ladies during my time after being divorced, because maybe I wasn't listening very well. And he gave her the answer she needed to hear. Oh, I spelled hear wrong. I'll have to change that. I'll talk about the E and bless later. Take care, all of you, for you are all my neighbors. Together, we make our communities better. So right here, I'm on, this is a gentleman I met. His name is Jeff. He actually lives out in Milwaukee. He's a rapper. And the day I met him, he was wearing a God is Dope shirt. And he is on YouTube. And I thought I would let you listen to his message real quick.
Hey, yo, my prayers go out to all the people involved in the shooting. The victims, the families, the teachers, the first responders, everybody in that city that's going through this experience right now. It's 2022. These things shouldn't be happening. But questions that we may get as believers is, why would an all-loving God allow for these things to happen? It's not an easy question to answer, but I'll try with this. You see, God loves us so much that he gave us a free will. You see, love has to be freely given. It's a choice that we make. So every day we have a choice to either love or to hate. And unfortunately, in this situation, the 18-year-old man chose to hate. He chose to do evil. See, if God just forces us to do good all the time, then he takes away our free will. And that's our unique ability to love genuinely. But rejoice in this, because there is hope. Jesus promises that when he comes back a second time, he's going to remove all the pain, all the suffering, and defeat evil once and for all. So I'll leave you with the words of Jesus in John 16:33, where he says, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." Hey, yo, my prayers go out to all the people involved in the
And free will. That's what God gave us. Free will, because he doesn't want robots. He wants us, to generally love him. And he also listens to us. God listens to us. He hears our prayers. He knows. But he gave us free will too, because, he wants genuine love. And so that is my message, my video for today. I'm going to end this video because I got to get to work. So I hope you all have a great day. Peace. I'm out of here with
shooting, the victims, the families,